is 4:29, March 20th. If I followed through with what I said that I was going to do for myself, that I told myself, meaning posting, challenging myself, I can't help the challenging. I love to challenge myself because I love a challenge, and I feel like when I challenge myself to do things, it feels it like motivates me to want to do it because I want to like show myself like I don't know, or not really. I guess it just makes it fun. Oh gosh, I'm just I want I okay. First off, hi. How are you doing? How was your day today? How was your March 20th? How was your first day of Aries season, the spring? Um, I started off, I'm pretty sure I'm going to upload that clip in the beginning. That was me in the morning time. I was fired up because I had woken up at 5 a.m. this morning and I did it. Like I told myself I wanted to wake up last night at 5 a.m. I also prayed, like I asked God. I was just like, God, can you please? Like I whispered to myself. I didn't like sit here and pray. And when I say pray, I don't like pray like that. I need to put some lotion on, but don't pay attention. I never, rarely. Sometimes I'll pray like this if I'm just like, but I don't know. I've been trying to pray more. Where do I even start with everything? I just feel like I have been wanting to talk more, I guess. Okay, let me gather my thoughts. I'm a little scattered. This is Mercury retro. We are in Mercury retrograde right now. It's in the sign of Aries. So, whenever Mercury rules your mind and your communication, so your thoughts and your communication. So it's very normal to struggle with trying to talk. uh, yeah, and sometimes there can be like a lot of miscommunications or errors or anything like that. So bear with me, give me grace as I try to talk, even though I still feel like I'm not the best at speech, at talking. I guess because I always overthink it. But I was also born during a Mercury retrograde. Like in my astrology chart, I am my Mercury is retrograde. So I've heard, astrologically speaking, that anytime anyone's their Mercury is retrograde, they were born with the Mercury retrograde, they usually have speech issues or they have a lack of confidence with how they speak or they speak differently. And there's just so many other things that have to do with that. Anyways, I'm veering off. Why am I doing this? Okay, I'm avoiding. I'm veering off. Okay, so the point, I really have been wanting to do this video series because I want to connect more. I want to share more. I want to live my calling. And I feel and have felt like actually I'm very, very fucking tired of holding back on myself. And I'm gonna get emotional because this has been weighing on me. I'm just, and you know, I don't, I always ask myself, like, how did I end up here again? Just like, why are you not, why are you holding back on yourself? It's like I had so many opportunities, so it seems. I don't know. I'm not gonna bring the past up because I I've, not trying to be hard on that. In the previous season, in the Pisces season, was about like, you know, releasing the past, letting go of the past, reminding yourself that you're not your past, you're not your mistakes. And I really had to try to do that because I have made a lot of mistakes, which part of me laughs internally. Maybe my intuition, our higher self, or God is like, huh, girl, those were not mistakes. Those were lessons in disguise, honey. And you're just along the process of life, and you're on your path, and you don't know how all of those things are going to lead you to where you are meant to be. But sometimes when your mistakes affect others, that's when it hurts more. That's when it's like, dang. Um, so, anyways, I have been feeling really like I've been holding back, and I've been getting a lot of, I guess, signs that I have been holding back on myself. It's almost like, oh, since you've been holding back and you're not doing the thing that you know you need to be doing, and you're not taking that seriously, we're gonna put you in situations. This is how I feel like God is um making me, is putting me in uncomfortable situations that I want to say, I don't think this is the right word, the right wording for this, but I was gonna say that validates the self doubt. Um, yeah, putting me in situations to where, since you haven't been holding back on yourself, then since you've been holding back on yourself, then I'm just gonna make everything louder so you have no choice. And I feel like God knows me, and unfortunately, I'm a hard headed ass person sometimes. Um, because I'm such a do do things the way I want to do things, go against the freaking grain. I really always loved being an Aquarius, but I'm starting to realize the irritating parts of being an Aquarius. And it's like we're so damn stubborn, which is so hard because I feel like I'm such an open minded person. So it's like I'm conflicted because I feel like I'm so open minded and I want to grow and I want to change, but then I get so stubborn because it's like, why do I always have to go against the grain? And in some ways it's good, but in some ways I only end up making my life more difficult. That shit is gets old. Um, so yeah, I just feel a really deep sorrow in my chest right now, and because I'm really starting, because I know I've been holding back on myself, and it's almost like I'm starting to get like the consequences of it. Meaning, like, all right, since you haven't been doing what you've been doing, like, do you want to end up having to do these things now because you are not? I don't know, maybe that's not it, but I'm just ranting. Gosh, dang. I really need to go to therapy, I think. Or maybe I should just continue to like do this. But anyways, I'm feeling very um the weight of the my decisions, my the fact that I've been holding back, and I'm feeling the weight of it and the discomfort of, like, I feel just tugged in multiple. I feel so fucking tugged in multiple, like, places, and I hear a lot of what I need to do. I like it's like my internal part of me is talking to me, my mind talks to me, other people talk to me, and then it's just a combinedness of what I should do, but what I want to do, but what I need to do, and it's just all blended together. And I just want to cry. I just want to like scream because I'm like, oh, my camera. Oh, I just want to scream because it's like, whose voice do I listen to? That's how I feel. Whose fucking voice do I listen to? And then how do I know? But then it's like the problem also with like following your intuition, right? Because I know what my intuition wants me to do. And I have been thinking that I'm doing it, but I feel like my biggest problem is trying to rush things. And that's one thing that a friend of mine told me. She's a practitioner, metaphysical practitioner, and she told me, I was just kind of like, at some point how I got mad because I was on a quest of following my intuition, and it led me to be broke, or like dang near, like in a, well, I'm not gonna say broke, but definitely in a not good financial situation. Unless that's more realistic. It felt like broke, but anyways, yeah, I was in a really difficult financial situation, very tight, and that almost made, I feel like that's kind of similar to moments where you like follow what, you know follow God, which maybe a lot of Christians would say. I believe in God too, but when I talk about God and my intuition, I just feel like that's God talking through me, talking to me, um but yeah, it's just kind of like those moments where you just listen to God, and then it doesn't turn out the way that you thought it would be by listening to God, and then you're like end up in a worse situation to where it feels like, not worse, but you end up like in a situation where it's like, but God, like, I feel like I'm let down because, and maybe not that, but you thought it would be this if you listened. But I think my main problem, and so there's a lot of like confusion between, and then that's where the self-doubt comes in, because there's a lot of people who don't have beliefs in like following your intuition. At least back, I mean, I'll say back then, but like when I first started, and when you guys hear me talking about all the intuition stuff, like nobody, I mean, there's obviously a lot of people talking about it, but I feel like it's becoming more mainstream, I guess you would say. Like, like I knew all I needed, the only validation I needed, which I really didn't need or shouldn't even be seeking validation, but when Gary Vee started talking about intuition, I was like, yeah. But then again, if the one of the people that I look up to, like outside of people that I know, which is Gary Vee, love him, is preaching intuition, and he's in the place that he's in, like, there's something I must be doing wrong here, and I do know. So going back to what the lady told me, or my friend told me, is that you there's a difference between following your intuition and greed. Mm. Let me say that again. There's a difference between following your intuition and greed, being greedy, because you are dealing with a lack. So, in essence, maybe you follow your intuition initially, but you try to make things happen like quick because you're in need. So actually, it starts to not come through like open, um, a pure innocent, like good vibes, high vibrational sense of you following it, there's something tied, there's an egotistical, there's a greed. These are all these things that are not good, even when we think of any, when we think of Christianity. I mean, but like those things are not godly. Those things are not, those are very low vibrational. Um, and you're not, and so I realized, oh, okay, well, I'm doing something wrong here because then, I'm like, okay, God, well, you know that I obviously need to, like finances is important. Money is important. Money provides freedom, which is all the Aquarius girl in me wants, man. All of us wants the freedom, though. I'm just saying, but anyways, that's another thing. Oh, I'm never gonna talk about my like obsession with freedom to where I ended up like. Anyways, that's another topic. But anyways, um, but yeah, I realized that when you follow your intuition, you are following the initial feeling of like, do this. Your soul is calling you to do this. Your soul, for me, like my soul was calling me to like turn on the camera more and start talking and posting that. My soul is calling for me to vlog more and share more of the process and the behind the scenes. But my mind has been wanting me to make everything perfect. I used to, when I was posting Dress Creations videos, I used to do, like, really edit my videos all beautifully. And, like, I would spend hours, days, let's be realistic. There was no hours. There was days of me, like, perfectly editing it. Because I love the, like, cinematic. But I was romanticizing it. It was fun. I still love those kinds of videos. But that's not what my soul wants, to be freaking honest. I do like to be creative every now and then. Like, I do want that. I still know that's a big part of me and piece of me. And that may not be through like video, but it could be just through like my style. And that's why I've been trying to show more Get Ready With Me or showing more of my outfits. Because you see, I'm trying to figure out like how can I still include all assets, all parts of me. This is just creations after all, and no creation. Creation is just the life. It's like creating whatever, creating my life, creating videos, creating outfits, creating hairstyles, creating the life of my dreams. That's why when I was very thoughtful when I decided to name this channel. Back then, that younger self of me knew I don't want to be put in a box. So I'm gonna put even though I knew I was starting off by doing like hair videos, I knew that part of me at one point probably wouldn't want to do hair videos for the rest of my life. I didn't want to put myself in a box. So I was like, I'm just a creator. I like to create. So creations. I could have easily put like hair, natural hair, whatever. So yeah, but then I ended up, yeah. Anyways, so you've been seeing this long process of me, so it seems with me trying to break out of the box that I ended up putting myself in. That was all me. Because I don't like to use the word, I became, how do you freaking call it? What is a better word than what the thing wants to come in? Like, I became like submissive. I submitted to the views, the money, the whatever. And then I realized that I don't know if I want if that's the only way that I can make money on YouTube, by like trying to perform, trying to focus more on how pretty that I want the video to look, rather than focusing more on just the value that I'm putting. I don't want it. I don't want to make money on YouTube then. I would like, or at least through like I don't want to like my videos to, I don't want to monetize my videos then, you know? Um, or I don't want to worry about like using this as a source of income. That's the realest thing, because I just want to be able to just do what I want to do, and not do what I want to do, but I just want to have the freedom to express myself and explore all parts of myself, so then I can help and inspire you guys who are similar, on similar paths, and have similar interests. But another main thing that I've been really having on my heart is to, and there's a lot of people there, these are signs that's come to me. This will probably be a good idea to for me to like talk about the girl that inspired me to do these videos. I've been obsessed with her, and it's so interesting because she is a very, very, she's a Christian, and I was gonna say like a very extreme Christian. And not in I don't know, but she's a very dedicated Christian. I guess that's a better way. Her name is Ezra Lee, the Scribe. I watch her videos and I'm like, I really want to reach out to her, but I feel like she would like be. The sucky thing about it is like I feel like we could be friends in like real life, because we are so similar. Like, and you know, you see people, you probably watch me and think we're so similar, you know, and yeah, when you find people and they have like so similarities down to um like their food habits, their little habits. And yeah, every time this girl, I'm just obsessed with her videos, but she's so consistent. So she vlogs, and she posts a vlog every day. And then she also does, like, I guess you would call it, and I may be butchering it because I don't really know the correct terminology, which is terrible, but she does, like, she works for the ministry, meaning, like, all her videos are her just talking about the word of God and, like, sharing her message and guidance. And yeah, she was just talking about the story of how God put that on her heart, and she was like working a regular, like a normal job, and like one day God told her, like, you know, I just want you to like be like the like a ministry, like I want you to have a channel to where you just give the word or you share that and you help people through that. And like how she was saying that God took care of her, and I want to cry because it's like that's all that I want. But I realize that I haven't been, the intentions behind me posting haven't been well. The intentions behind me following my intuition hasn't been. I think that's been the block. And maybe a lot of people can see that, which is why I feel like I'm not being as supported, or maybe it's also the consistency, and there's no expectations, but sometimes it's like I'll like try, like say, even though it's funny because I know I'm not really promoting myself as much, and plus I don't really have that much to promote, meaning like I don't have a website, I don't have a social media that's linked to my business, which is Healthy Girl Healing, so I don't have these like established things that like I know that's my problem. I know that those are problems for me, and those are the things that's like, girl, why aren't you focusing on that? But yeah, I don't think that I want to give without the expectation of receiving. And if I'm honest with myself, I don't do that enough. And I can say like I don't have the expectation, but like if I know that if I don't get, even when it comes to views, that I feel like I should, the entitlement of that, then I stop doing it. So was I really doing it because of my intuition, or was it the greed? And greed doesn't have to be greed of money, but it could be greed of views, attention. So if God has put on my heart, if God has put it on your heart, to do something, but you only do it when something comes out of it for you. Is it really you following your intuition? Or is it coming from the right place, I guess? Are you following your intuition in the right way? So, yeah, so going back to the girl, she does vlogs, but she does it in a style that I really, really love. Like, she doesn't overly, like, edit her videos. She doesn't even show, like, all parts of her life. She'll just, like, film different parts, different times, and, like, she'll film in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. Excuse me. And she'll just talk about, like, what she's gonna do. She doesn't, like, do a whole vlog and show everything, which, honestly, I love the idea of that because like I will say like I always tell you guys, I'm a fairly private person. And sometimes and then also I live in the moment. Like I don't really always like that. That's the biggest thing. There's just I just like the privacy aspect of like I don't want to show my whole house. I don't want to show like just certain things. But then it's also but the main thing also is like um yeah, the presence. I just want to be freaking present. I think that is honestly the most important. I mean, because I don't have to show my whole house. I think that's just, but I think it's the presence thing. I like to be present, and I do not like having to prop up the phone. For me, that doesn't find fulfilling to me all the time. Like sometimes, yeah, but I don't, that's not, like that's not something for me. Like obviously if that's other people, that's totally fine, but I have to be honest with myself, and that like takes me out of the moment a lot of times when I don't have to, maybe all the time do that. And maybe like I said, I don't know, maybe I just like the option to not have to do it. I like the balance, and I still want to be able, but when I'm not in the mood to do all of that, I still want to be able to be consistent. So that's why I like how she does it. And honestly, I've gained more from her just talking and talking about like sharing her life by her words than any fucking blog that's perfectly edited and crafted. Like I don't it's way more authentic to hear her. Um and so yeah, thank you if she ever watches this, that I inspire you inspire me. And usually I'm like the Aquarius in me is like, oh, I don't want to like copy someone, but this is not technically copying. I mean, there's a lot of people, but yeah, I am kind of like I mean, not mimicking, but I am like her style has inspired me. Meaning, like, you don't have to like you. This is a new way of vlogging. Meaning, like, you don't when you vlog, you don't have to like share all of your life all the time. Like the visual, you can just come in and talk about how you're feeling, talk about this, talk about that. So yeah, I really, really just feel like, and then I don't know, I am gonna reach out to her, and if I think that was another thing I was saying. I'm not finishing my thoughts. Sorry, this is, it's just my mind right now. Our minds. Maybe you're uh, feeling the effects of the Mercury retrograde too, but um, yeah. So, but yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm gonna reach out to her. But I was like, oh, it sucks because it's this is the struggle part, or the sucky part about like people who have different beliefs. Because like I'm not opposed. I would be friends with anybody from any other beliefs or beliefs, religion, or beliefs or whatever they are, spiritual, religious. I don't have I would never like close myself out to connect. Honestly, I think it'll be really cool as long as the people are open minded to other things. I mean, open minded to like hearing me like maybe say something astrological every now and then, but not like take it to heart or something like that, because that's still part of my personality, and I don't want to like just shut that down. But it sucks that I feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would like hear, know that I'm a more spiritual based person which honestly that's another thing, because I just feel like Christians talk, everybody really says the same things, but everybody wants to be like, well, no, it's in this way, and the names are this names. But I'm like, realistically, I'm like, how, but like, please, like, be honest. Like, we don't fucking know. We don't. How about, I don't think God is, or God, because I believe in God, is gonna be like, you went around like you, like, I feel like God want, like, values the connection, not so much that you are calling him blue when he's purple. Like, what are these things? Like, that is just such a surface level. Like, it's about the relationship. It's about that, the connection. It's about, like, you actually feeling, like, having the relationship, and, like, being guided by that. I feel like all this extra stuff is just fluff. But that's just my personal opinion. But if other people, that's a value to them, then great, But anyway, so that, my whole rant was just, that was my personal opinion. But there's a lot of people that probably think, girl, are you crazy? Like, the name, all that is important. That's just out of respect. And there's so many things. So I get it. I'm open. But the point is, I feel like, with most Christians, any girl that is spiritual, but I mean, like, spiritual meaning, like, um, you do it. I'm an astrologer, and I, like, pull cards, and I'm, like, open to, like, other, like, metaphysical tools, those, that's where I feel like the judgment comes in, and it's like, dang, we could have been really good friends, if you were just more, if you were open-minded. Um, we cannot both just have our beliefs, and still be open-minded, but anyways. I don't know. I'm assuming. I'm literally making assumptions. I'm still gonna reach out to her though, cause my like soul, like, wants to. I'm just like, oh, she's just, and I honestly feel like she. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not. This is not for me to be talking about her. But the point is, yeah. I just really did get inspired because I've been really wanting, like, I knew this, Aries season was gonna start, and, like, even not even just for that, but I've been feeling like, all right, I really want to stop holding back on myself, because, like, if I continue to hold back, I'm gonna miss opportunity. Then I'm gonna have to live the life that I don't want for myself, which is like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to live a life that I don't want for myself, because because I never went fully, because I held back. And it's like, I don't know. Or I haven't been consistent. Like, I'll have moments of this, and I have gotten better. Let me give myself grace. Um so yeah, anyways, I'm just feeling emotional. I'm feeling different. Like, I felt, like I said, I woke up earlier. I was so happy that I woke up on time. I went to the gym. Man, that gym session was like, I pushed it. Like, I was doing all. I remember, like, my confidence level. Usually, I'm nervous to, like, go in the front of the gym. There's a lot. That's where all the machines are, and I always feel like avoid that, like the weights and stuff. Like, I've been trying to incorporate more weights, like I used to at the other gym that I went to, but ever since, I don't know, like, I gain a comfortability with one gym, and then when I have to switch gyms, then it's like, oh, I have to get more comfortable with this, and then everything's up front so that people can see you. I don't know. So I had to get over that, but I was like, I was feeling this Aries season, okay, and since it's the beginning of Aries season, that means that the sun in Aries is in the first degree, and my Aries moon is at 0 degrees, so it's like on top of it, very conjunct, so it's heightening my, like, moon, Aries moon, and, like, recharging it, and I felt that when I went to the gym. Like, I was really working out, and I was like pushing myself, and I was like going from one machine to the next, to doing the weights, to, and I was like red, and I had so much energy to keep going, which I usually, like, there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, like, I don't have the desire to push myself. as much. But I was really like, and I was confident. I wasn't looking around or caring about other people looking at me. So I was like, yes, let's go. Like I was so happy. I felt good. So, anyways, I was feeling good. I have got my confidence because anytime I go to the gym and I, really have a good workout, but just go to the gym, period, I just feel like that. I feel like that girl. Like, and I just feel like that's the most empowering thing, doing anything to take care of yourself, your body. Um, Especially like as in anybody, but I know for a woman, for me, like it just feels really empowering. So, and then listening to some confidence boosting music too. So yeah, I was on that high, and then I got home, and then I immediately got into work. Well, no, at 8. And then I immediately got into work because I started feeling like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. But then I wasn't doing it in order, so I just kind of dove into something without like planning anything. Or and plus I didn't even take a shower. Like I came home at 8, and then like I just like started work because I work from home. I work from home most of the time, which I'm really grateful for. Um, but we're gonna talk about that journey too. We're just gonna talk, and I'm just gonna be honest and share my journey because I've been saying that I just want to share the journey. I just want to share the journey. I just want to share the process. I want to share the behind the scenes, and I need to just do it. And then yeah, and then that's the problem. I started my Patreon, and I'm like, well, you know, I felt like I couldn't get vulnerable as much as I wanted to. In a sense, I still feel like for certain topics or certain things, like those things need to be on a Patreon, on our private community. But if I'm just sharing my life, how I'm navigating my life on this journey, like for the most part, I can share most things. And then it's like I'm trying to build an audience. I'm trying to build a community. Excuse me. And not even that, Jess. Remember, so I'm trying to tell myself that I really want to adapt. Even though I'm not a Christian, I still like the idea of, what is the word? Shoot. Being like in ministry. I feel like I'm not saying that right. I'm not saying it properly, but like, let me look it up. I feel like, yeah, like when you just like serve your community, that is like by giving the word of or sharing your knowledge. What is being and I feel like I'm not saying it right. Ministry. Oh, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. I should know that. I be having my slow girl moments. Okay, I'm sorry. I do. I don't even care. In Christianity, a ministry is essentially a calling or service to others, often within the church or religious context, aimed at spreading the message of Jesus Christ and serving God's people. Okay. Ministry involves actively serving others, whether through leading worship, teaching, volunteering, or simply offering compassion and support. Spreading the gospel, various forms, emphasis on service, vocational lifestyle. Okay, so see, that's another thing for me. Okay, I can just go on, and I need to hurry up because like the problem with these vlogs is like I can talk for hours. So I'm just gonna have like, and I remember there's a beautiful, wonderful girl who just encourages me to talk. Let me look up your name so I can shout you out really quick. She's always like, and maybe, I don't know. It's just interesting. People are like brought into your life. I know, like, for a reason. I always say that. And it's just funny because she's like so persistent on like, girl, I see that you want to talk more. Like, why are you holding back? And at first I was like, why? Like, she's just being overly nice. Like, does she really actually care? And like, why? And then she's been persistent on it. She's like said, you've said, because I'm pretty sure you're probably watching this. Choco XOXOXO has been saying, like, she's giving me several comments about that, and I'm just like, wow, she's just really nice. But then I'm like, maybe she sees something in me that I don't really see. Not to say that I don't see in myself, but like she sees that I'm holding back, and maybe like God brought her into my life to like tell me, to nudge me to use my voice more. And like, this is what I mean by like being aware, because sometimes we can just like not, we can miss the signs because we're just like la 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 la. I don't know, like so like, yeah. And so another thing I was gonna say is I feel like, I don't know, like this may be not ideal for a lot of people, but if it was up to me, I will merge all of the religions together. Or like, I feel like I've always felt like in life, not even that, that's not it. That's not what I want to do. But I meant like, I feel like everybody should do what resonates with them. And our connection to God, to a higher power is going to be different. We're walking different paths, people. Why would our paths look the same if we're different? Why not do what works for us to still get the same guidance and message, to get the same, like, why do I have to have it packaged? Why do I have to have my connection with God, or higher power or whatever, have to be packaged in the way that you're trying to serve it to me? I'm not you. Like, I love that it works for you, and it may work for Joe, Sally, Sam, but Jessica but like, we still have the same relationship, but you don't like it because my relationship is funneled differently, and then I use different names. Does that make sense? Like, so for me, I just like when I think of I see this ministry and I'm like, whoa, this is cool. Like, I this is something not cool, but I feel like I would love to do that, and I feel like I've been getting signs to do that. Like, one of my only Patreon, shout out to Annie. She said that one of the things that she, one of the reasons also why she joined the Patreon is to like, she said that I don't know if I should, actually, I'm not going to talk about her story, but the point is it's not that that's personal, but she does things for ministry, like serving others. And that means supporting, volunteering, giving people money, just like, or like, it could be through advice, it could be through all, why am I like blanking out on the word? Community service. But it could just be like going through and like your favorite supporters, helping them, like if they help you, serving them in certain ways, like you're giving your ties, in a sense, I guess, to have it, because you're just serving. Like, I don't know. So I like the concept of that. I really do. And like I said, I've been here getting a lot of signs about that, and I'm like, God, that's what I've been missing, right? I've just been like, the Aries moon in me. That's why I'm like, I love being Aquarius, but everything comes with the not best thing. And sometimes, and speaking of Aries, Aries season, Aries, one of the downfalls is being very, like, can be selfish or self-centered, and not even, or maybe selfish, like thinking of itself, or feeling like if I'm not taken care of, or if I'm not getting this, then I can't think about anybody else until I'm satisfied. So it can, like, you can be kind of, which makes sense because Aries is the first astrology sign. It rules the first house, which is about the self. So it could be like focused on itself and not aware that, of his actions affecting others. It could then once again like be that's seem like you're being selfish when it's just like that's just your natural instinct to make sure like if I'm good then I can help others. But sometimes that's not what I need. And um yeah, like I guess I'll expose myself. Why not? I don't fucking care. Like why? Yeah, but for this is for deep astrology nerds out there. But my Aries moon is in the second house. I mean, you would know that if I'm a Pisces rising. Come on, I know people who are really deep into astrology have made these connections because if I follow somebody and they talk about their chart, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's the connection. Da, da, da. Not to say that people are that deep into mine, but I know for me, if I was, but yeah, so the moon in, I mean, we could talk about that all alone, but I'll just say one of the negative qualities of the moon being in the second house, meaning that your finances always fluctuate. Like you can be doing really good and then you can be doing really bad because your spending and your management with your finances is very tied to your emotions, which is not logical. Which is why it kind of makes me think the moon rules the sign of Cancer. And that's why sometimes, love Cancer because they are very intuitive and their emotions are their gift. But sometimes, once again, the emotions can get them in more challenging situations. Emotions can like cloud rationality, which is also why we've been going through this Mars and Cancer energy of our emotions being this crash out energy everybody's been talking about. That's Mars and Cancer. And it's like, yeah, like making irrational decisions because your emotional state is heightened right now. And instead of like releasing that in healthy ways, you just like, you don't. So then it gets pent up and then you explode and it's not healthy. And then you make like irrational decisions because you're heightened in emotion. So that's like how I am. What's my finances? And so like then I'm always in a like I'm never. That's where it feels like the stability of like like why can this be stable? Why do I always have to be learning the same lessons over and over again when it comes to that? So and then I start to have this lack. I mean this area of like okay, let me only do the things that provide me financial, like money. And it's like, I do it from a good place because it's not like I care about, like, I'm not trying to become rich. I mean, yes, I would love to be rich, God. If you have that in the plans for me, great. But I'm not a money hungry person. For the longest, I didn't even care about money, but that was a big problem because you need to care about money because money is valuable. It is a tool, and it does provide the freedom for you to have the life that you want. So, yeah, that it took a while for me to realize that, and that's another reason why when I was doing dress creations and it was like popping off, I never really like utilized it in the way that I probably could have, meaning like tried to get a bunch of brand deals and tried to sell stuff, and like I was just enjoying the ride, man. I was just really loving the creative aspect. I didn't really know how to turn it into a business. Wasn't even worried about that at that time, which is maybe why it was so fun at that time. But yeah. So the problem is, and I know that people can smell that, like the like lack, and it's like, oh, she only comes here when she wants to do this, or she has this. And it's like, but God, like, I don't want you guys to think that. Like, I don't care. But yeah, I do need to freaking make a living. So it's like, how do you intertwine with the things that you're intuitively supposed to do? But but you can't do it from an area of lack. So then that's where it's like, all right, then that sounds like I'm going to have a thing on the side that's bringing me income so then I could be in ministry and do what I'm meant to do. Or maybe trust in God. Maybe trusting that, like, I'm still going, like, if I follow that and I do it consistently and I do it every day or whenever, however often, and I just do it consistently. And even, especially on the days where I'm not getting anything, and not worry about getting anything, and just do it because God put that on my heart to do. How long have I been talking? So, Yeah, I don't know. This is a whole video in itself. But so yeah, I'm talking to for the girls, boy out there, or whatever you identify as genderly. Is that, I don't know, if I'm still learning the correct ways to say certain things without like sounding really uneducated when it comes to like the spectrum, I guess. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, that's where I've been. I know I'm not like the only one. And that's another thing where I'm trying to trust that whenever I get the urge, which that urge of like, oh, I need to speak this, this keeps coming up in my mind, this keeps coming up in my heart. Or I'm starting to have very heightened feelings about this. Like, I need to say something, let this out. That I'm feeling like that is like my gift, that's my calling. That is, I mean, that could be everybody's, but for me, it's like, okay, I want to share this with somebody because I know that I'm not the only one. And so that means I need to bring my tushy over to the camera or turn on my live and like talk about this. Talk about it because somebody needs to hear this. This is for somebody else. This is for me, yes, but it's also for somebody else and some other people. So I need to be connecting to them, and that's it. That's all I need to think about. That is the trade off. That is it. I'm releasing this for myself, so and I'm being used as a guide because I'm navigating through my life to be an example for others and share the journey. I've always said I like to show it rather than talk about it. So why, yeah, I am. How am I going to be able to help people if I never was put in situations that forced me to learn and then help? So, oh my gosh. So, did I just like curse myself? Not really. But like I've always said, I want to show, I like to teach based off of like what I learned or like how I navigate my life. I like to show it. But then it's like, is that me asking for more struggles? So then no, I don't want that, God. I don't want that. But no, I'm just messing around. But anyway, so yeah, I that's how I felt, and now I felt like I've been working or just doing what I feel like is work, and I feel like a little bit it's like unorganized, but I have gotten things accomplished that I have been putting off a little bit, but I just felt like I hadn't even like I'm still in the same clothes. Like I really want to go take a shower. And then I just my room like I did laundry and I have a bunch of laundry. I just feel like all the things that I feel like I should be doing, but then I'm like I just felt like, but then I felt like I needed to do like one of the things I said is I want to challenge myself to put these videos out. Um, I'm getting a little like anxious a little bit. Okay. Um, I'm just being self-aware. I can feel when I'm starting to get a little amped or anxious. So every time I start to feel anything like that, I just breathe because my breath is my anchor. Um, to take me out of my mind and get me back into my body and be in a calm state. So that is on healthy emotional management right there. Okay, guys, all the people that's on crash out energy, use your breath. I had to learn it as an Aries moon too. Aries energy is really not nice. Okay, it says it like it is. Aries and Sag, and I see any of the fire signs. Honestly, like they be. So, anyways, I'm evolving. So yeah. So yeah, I just feel really conflicted. That's it. And it could be cause I'm trying to think what conflicting things do I have. Well, I think I'm just feeling things stronger. That's another thing. Whenever the wait, no, what sign is the moon is in? What sign is the moon is in? Oh, the moon is in Sagittarius, which squares my Pisces. And Sagittarius rules my 10th house of career, public life, and my Pisces is my first house. And okay, now I'm understanding. And then yeah, but then we have the Aries sun and then we have the Cancer, which is still like that's another thing. That's what I was gonna say. Like this Aries season is bringing like you are gonna have a little bit like more energy, or maybe more energy, but like or maybe I wouldn't even say maybe more energy, but I mean maybe you will, but you will have to like push through because when the sun is in a sign, it's telling you that if you how do I describe it? If you take on the characteristics, the good characteristics of the sign that the sun is in currently, you will feel the most like energized, vital, creative, because that's what all the things the sun represents: vitality, creativity, confidence. And because it's in the sun, it's in Aries, that is the collective, that is what, that is like, how am I describing this? That colors what we need to do in that time to be the most creative, vital, confident of ourselves, you know. And with the Aries, it's about like taking action. It's about like facing your fears, being independent, doing things on your own without having to wait for other people or feeling like, oh, I can't do this if the other person. Um, Expressing yourself confidently. But then you can have the other parts of you, which are like the negative parts is like the impatience. Aries can be impatient. Aries can be self-centered, or selfish. Aries could be hot-headed. So and Aries can struggle with fear. I think when you're younger, the younger parts of people with Aries energy is very fearful. But the goal of anybody who's an Aries or has Aries energy, a lot of energy or period in just general, is like pushing past the fear, taking risks, and pushing past your fear so you can reclaim like your like power, your inner power, not in an egotistical way, but in a like a confidence like boosting way. So yeah, and then also height and sex drive too. That's another great thing about that. But yeah, so and like taking care of your body. We say it rules the first house. So, you know, taking action, being active, physically active. So this would be, you know, I've been talking about moving the body for your emotional aspect, but for your health too. And expressing yourself through like your appearance or like just like, you know, starting things, you know, starting new things is a good like Aries, that cardinal energy of like starting projects or starting things that you've been wanting to do. So that's a bit of the Aries energy. And why was I talking about that? I don't know. So yeah, lastly, so yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like since the moon is in my 10th house, which anytime the moon is in your 10th house, that means like this will be a good scenario of like moon in 10th house. The moon represents your feelings, your emotions. I'm talking about my feelings and emotions on a camera that's going to be posted on YouTube, which is very public. And this is tied to my career. Like I am talking about that. Like my bigger, you know, that type of thing. And there's so many things that can more details of the connections, but we'll be here all day. But then I'm conflicted because the Pisces in me is like very private and reserved, and like that's very 12th housey. And then it's also like wanting to focus more on myself with the Pisces energy, but like the Sag wants me to like put myself out there. And so I'm just conflicted between like, oh, I just want to be comfortable in my like little cave, and like I know I'm spiritual, and like I'm just hearing the guidance to myself. And yeah, I can just like go through life and like dream or like talk to God and know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't put myself out there. Maybe I feel, but this is now like the moon has called me to like, girl, like you need to put yourself out there. So then, anyways, not the moon has called me, but this is like the representation of like the moon. It's like whenever the moon transits are in any part of your life, area of your life, is telling you like your emotions are are like desiring for you to like align to this energy. Um but sometimes when it's like squaring or like not, or let's just say it's not compatible with certain things in your chart, it feels conflicting. It feels like, oh, like that's when you may have more irritable feelings because it's like you want to stay in your little comfort zone, but the moon is telling you like you will feel more emotionally fulfilled if you just get out of this comfort zone and do this. Do what you feel like you've been wanting to do, even though it feels like, ugh. So it felt like, to put myself out here because like I felt comfortable, like just to be going through it just by myself. I don't know. So, anyways, that is the journey. So, right now, what am I gonna do? Okay, the first thing I heard was take a shower. Okay. I need to take a shower and change my clothes, I guess. I'm gonna put on the same clothes as I wore yesterday. Why am I telling you guys that? I was gonna film. See, that's another thing. I wanted to go on live today. Like, am I trying to do too much? That's another thing. Like, I'd be trying to do too much sometimes. I'd be like, I want to do this and that, and then I ended up not doing it all because I end up getting overwhelmed because I gave myself too much. But I did. I definitely said number one, I want to post every day for the Aries season. I want to start doing these like vlogs, daily vlogs, where I take you guys. You know, I check in the mornings. You know, I do it the style that this girl that I love does it. But she's a Christian, but I'm doing it through like my spiritual journey and sharing my whole life as an spiritually connected woman that's on the path to like living her, like, just living an intentional, happy, intuitively led life, personable, purposeful, meaningful life, full of love and like, yeah, like living my purpose, yeah. And then also as an astrologer, and then as like showing the journey of like also wanting to be an entrepreneur, but like going through the highs and lows of it. But then also like on top of that, having like dealing with like life stuff, adversities, and um having to face like the things that has been holding you back, or having to be more responsible in certain areas like my finances. Like there's just so many things I just feel like, ugh. Like I just feel like I have so many things that's like not wrong with me, but like so many things like I have to work on. And I'm just like, bruh, like man. Oh my gosh, one thing at a time. I know though, finances, that needs to be number one. So I talked to my cousin, a cousin of mine who I used to live with, um, and that's the one I used to live with, and she was just talking to me about about finances, and she's been trying to get in my ear about like doing that better, and so many people have, so many people, and excuse me. And yeah, like I've just like learned lessons around that. And I know like astrologically speaking, like the sun is in my second house, which has to do with my money. A lot of things. Venus is in there, Mercury. So there's a lot of things happening. That's why it's so important. It's cool. Astrology, you don't need it, but it is a dope tool to be like, wow, that I know I've been experiencing that. The astrology is saying that too. Like, look how cool. And it gives you like more in-depth information about it that sometimes you can't, like when you are going through a feeling, it's hard to put those feelings into words, or maybe you can, but like it's just so cool to see the astrology and be able to say it in different ways. And it's, yeah, like it is validating, and it is kind of like, yeah, like, all right, I'm gonna take this seriously, because sometimes you just don't do it, and then you have to like go through. So anyways, I don't know, I'm just talking, I'm starting to get drained from talking now. So I'm gonna have to check in at night, even though it's like, what's freaking time is it? 5:30, and I'm supposed to be putting a cap on. Like, I'm not supposed to work past 7 o'clock. So it's 5:30 now. That means I'll have to check in. But then that means I won't be going on live today. Okay, I just heard you don't need to go on live today. Okay, go on live tomorrow, perhaps. Okay, so, but this will be a good. When I say I just heard, it means like when I say when I like ask a question out loud, and the first thing that comes to my like mind or I hear, I'm starting to like I recognize that as my intuition. Sometimes I'd be like, no, like then I like overthink it, and I'm trying to just go with the first thing that comes to me, because the first thing is usually your intuition. The second thing is then that's when you start overthinking it in your mind. You start going in back and forth conversation about it with your mind, and your ego gets involved. So I think that, I don't know, but now I'm second guessing it. I'm like, but I said I was gonna go live today. But then maybe that's me trying to do too much. And I know I'm tired too. Like, I woke up at 5. And, like, it's just been a day, you know. And we still, once again, it is Aries season, but we still going through the emotions. It's still eclipse. Like, it's still, bruh. I can't be, see, you can't do too much, you know. That's another thing. Aries energy just, like, are so, like, excited to start new things. And then you, like, burn out. Aries could be very susceptible to burning out if it overloads itself with too much. Or is that the Pisces in me? Pisces rising, I don't know. So yeah, that is how I'm feeling right now. That is how I'm feeling right now. All right, I'm gonna pull a card. I just got guidance to pull a card. Oh yeah, this is probably a good time because I was thinking maybe I should pull a card later today. But I was like, I know later today, like I'm gonna have to check in and do a quick like check in, like in the next, I don't even know, 30 minutes. Oh, we got 2 cards here. We got the Chariot, which is all about taking action, and we got the Devil card, which, calm down, is not literally the devil. These cards are interpretive, they're symbolic. So whenever this Devil card comes up, it means like your ego, or um like, yeah, cuz look, you see in this picture there's like, oh, I never even paid attention to the picture like that. But when you see the picture, there's like a woman that's all in white that shows to represent like purity. And then there's a man that looks all hot, I guess. And he has angel wings on, which he's probably trying to disguise himself to be like innocent, like I'm just like you. I'm I'm a hot guy. Like, be fooled. Let me whisper sweet nothings into your ear. But really, I am not good. I'm not the bad. I'm not a good guy. Or I'm not, this is not good. Like, I have ulterior motives behind what it is. And I'm trying to get into your mind. And I'm going to whisper, yeah, you aren't good enough. Yeah, you are. You are. You should feel bad about your mistakes. Oh yeah, you don't deserve this. Yeah, you should do. These are like negative self-talk. That's what I feel like is he's putting into this pure lady's mind. And that's just not right. So no, I rebuke the devil in the Lord's name. I'm just kidding. No, but for real though. Well, I don't necessarily believe, I don't know, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna go into that. But I do know that what I like to call is shadow. But more of like, yeah, you don't want to listen to like these dangerous thoughts that are blocking you. So yeah, we got the Chariot card. Is it the Chariot or Chariot? And And that's all about, this is very much Aries, taking action. But then we have the devil too. So I think like when you're taking action, don't let the devil, or don't let like negativity, the ego get in the way. Oh, maybe it's the ego. Let's read. See, this is where the part where it's like the astrology. I'm not gonna, I don't always want to pull cards, but sometimes I like to like pull it just to be like, I don't know, out of fun. This is like fun. Like I was fully satisfied. I could have not pulled the cards and I would have still got the guidance. But I don't know, like this is just something that I have to be honest with myself that I like. And there's nothing wrong with that. Mastery of the self. This is the Chariot. Mastery of the self, harnessing the power of the mind to confidently steer one's fucking life, man. The Chariot card is compelling you to manage your mind, to master your thoughts instead of being run by them. This may point to a confrontation with your ego. This fucking devil card. Are you allowing it to take over when it is healthy to do so? Are you allowing it to take over when it is healthy to do so, to asset your individual authority in your life? Or is your ego turning everything into a competition to be won at the expense of someone else? That's big in Aries energy. That's like the unhealed Aries. That's like the, everybody has its light and dark, every sign. It is in harnessing these dualistic energies. It is in harnessing these dualistic energies that we can reach the target of our passion. That's another Aries word, passion. Sorry, I'm very burpy. Why didn't I say that? That's like the main energy of Aries, is feeling very passionate about things. I've talked about this. I've talked about it before on here. But fulfilling your passion, expressing your passion, doing things passionately, living passionately, exploring your passions, Well, okay, so anyway, sorry. Let me reread that. All right, I'm going to stop talking. It is in harnessing these dualistic energies that we can reach the target of our passion, while also living fully in love, compassion, connection, and mercy. Everything in us can be harnessed for our good and the good of others. Yes. Do not be afraid to harness all that you are into a cohesive, victorious person. Do not avoid taking first place in order to appear humble or to sidestep the responsibilities of the spotlight. That is Moon in the 10th house, being in the spotlight. Anybody has that like in their chart naturally? When it is your time to do so, take your central place on the podium. No apologies. Well, you know what? Congratulations to me, because I did it. I did it. And you can do it too. And trust me, I was in conflict, and I made all the excuses because I came home, and instead of like doing what I was supposed to do after I came from the gym, like, eating and then showering and getting dressed, and then like actually like scheduling out like my day, which maybe I didn't need to do that because Aries is about doing, less about scheduling, so that's fine. Actually, I did the way, but I don't know, I just felt a little discombobulated, and maybe I like focus more on tasks that I like, the time management too. Like I just, oh my gosh. So okay, grace. So then a day passed by and I looked up and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be giving like an afternoon update and it's already about to be nighttime. It's 5:39 freaking right now. And then I was like, oh my gosh, then I have to do my live. And then I was just like, these are excuses that would have made me feel like, all right, maybe I just shouldn't do this today. Like, but then it's like, no. But then I started getting signs. Okay, let me just tell you, I just got a lot of signs. They're like YouTube videos of people like the girl. She was literally like, this is why I love, because it's like, I resonate with her, the word of God. Like, I really do. But I just like, well, sometimes like the wording of it, I would probably like change for myself, but I still can hear the message behind it. And that's another thing. I wish people could do that. Stop looking at the actual thing because I'm using cards or I'm using or the person saying, you talking in their religious language, and people don't realize the message is fucking still the message. If I use fucking, and you may not feel comfortable with that because it wasn't portrayed in the way that makes you feel comfortable, the message is still fucking the message. If I say the message is fucking the message, or if the message is the message, it's still the same. It's a message. Damn. This is very giving Mercury and Aries right now, and I'm just saying. This is just my place of just talking. So, anyways, y'all sure y'all want this? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say that because God put this on my heart, so I'm doing it regardless. That point blank period. God, you told me, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, I got the idea. Hey, for Aries season, girl, because we know you like to be in line with the astrological energies. We know that's gonna spark you up. We know you like a little competition. You know you like to play games, girl. You got the inner child in you, like to be competitive. Like, all right, challenge yourself then. Make this fun. Let's see. So, anyways. Oh my. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I was saying. I don't even know. I also woke up early, so I feel like when you haven't been waking up early, and then I know when you haven't been waking up early, and then you wake up early, you just feel all kind of like discombobulated, because you end up having the crash later on in the day that you have to move past. So and then I like overexerted myself at the gym. And then it's like, also, I'm starting to get hungry again. And then it's like, oh my gosh, man. Like, I feel like just being in a freaking. But then I'm so grateful. I'm not complaining. I'm so grateful because I am able to work from home, and I do. Like, I'm. That's another thing. Can you be grateful, but still, like. But then give yourself grace. Sometimes you may just be in a complaining mode, but you will still be grateful. But then you may catch yourself and be like, all right, girl, shut up. Like, but then it's like, sometimes I just want to express my feelings, and those feelings may not be rational, but I just want to express them so they can go somewhere. And everybody's different about their but I need to express. That's the Aries moon in me. Like, I need to be able to say these things, say whatever unruly, crazy stuff, just to get it out and have somebody there to be like. And I do, thankfully, I do. Like, my boyfriend, oh my gosh, my we both have similar energies when it comes to certain things, so we just be like saying a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that most people will probably be really offended or could not. Most of the world, but it's okay, and that's why it's important for me to have an outlet and, all this stuff. So, all right, I am going to stop. Now, I can just talk so long, but you're going to have 30 days of this. So, don't say I didn't warn you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. What am I doing? Stop. I'm doing that again. Okay. I love this. And also, I'm really excited because I'm not just going to I'm doing these vlogs, but I'm still going to do my, like, regular, let me just say, I would like to still be doing, like, if there's a new moon, I would, like, do a new moon vlogs. I've really been liking to do that, so you guys can see the behind the scenes of, like, my life, and then you can see the events. And then, like, I do want to, like, yeah, you guys will just be seeing, I'm excited to share more behind the scenes stuff. Authentically and raw. I think, like I said, for me, the thought of, like, trying to put together, like, a aesthetically looking vlog every day, and then I do want to talk, so I want more talking rather than, like, sharing my life, so my goal for the month of, the Aries season is just to give without expecting anything, and make sure I handle my business when it comes to, like, my work, like, the work that I go into, that is a trade-off. You go to work to get paid. So doing that. In the meantime, just, like, doing my ministry. Is that what you would call it? I feel like that's probably not. Like, I feel like that may be a business to some people. You can have a spiritual ministry, can't you? I don't know. Let me look it up. All right, I really do need to go, though. Matter of fact, I can do whatever I'm just kidding. Let me see. Is there a such a such thing as a spiritual ministry. Yes, the concept of spiritual ministry exists, referring to service or activities that aim to nurture and connect people with the spiritual or religious context, often within a church or religious organization or anything around that. Counseling, I guess. Yeah. So I think I'm doing the spiritual ministry. The point is, I want to be able to serve. I want to serve through my gifts. Not even my gifts, because everybody has our gifts. Not to say when I say my gifts, they're not special. I think you should serve. You should do whatever when it comes to your gifts. Like someone who's really good at, like, say for instance, finances. You know, an example of, like, that's your gift. God put that, for you. You're really good at, and it's not the finances, but you're really good at the, like, how your mind works when it comes to that, or how whatever, or how you're able to retain it from it, or do that skill. I feel like there's a more better word to just say you're good at finances, but just say that. And then you just, like, help people for free. Like, you may still do it for money, but every now and then you have something where it's like you're giving back and you're helping people for free. That's like you providing service or ministry or whatever you want to say. You're giving back, and I got that. I did get, that was another YouTube video that came up for me a while ago, or a couple days ago or whatever, that said, like, that, that reinforced, because I know this, but the more you like put out, the more you get, and I honestly just want to forget about the more you get, because I just need to completely disconnect myself from, like, what I'm going to be getting, and just live my purpose. And remember, God put this in my heart, so I'm going to show up, because this is me living out my purpose. And like I said, I need to disconnect myself. I need to also trust that if I do this, then everything else will work out. Don't you need to worry about the details. We just had that Virgo eclipse. The Virgo part of people will be like wanting to know the details, and yes, that's important, but as long as I, like, just trust, but then I obviously still have I have a main job, so just doing that, and however everything plays out is going to be however everything plays out. So now I just talked myself into being hungry again, and I don't have food to, like, actually that's readily available for me to warm up. I have to cook. And I also, it's like about to be 6 o'clock, and I'm supposed to be cutting off everything at 7, and I still have work to do. Fuck. Oh my gosh. All right, I need to get started, and then I still need to put this video out, bruh. Like, but my intuition just wanted to get on camera today, didn't it? But then, like, all right, did we even finish this? So victory. So the Chariot is victor. The keywords are victory, personal authority, self-discipline, willpower, success, and action. Then we have the Devil card. I feel like I should just read that real quick, and then I'm just gonna. Like I said, I'm doubting myself, because I'm like, oh, I don't have time to take a shower right now, like, but that was the first thing that came up in my head. So maybe the shower will refresh me, because I am still feeling a little discombobulated. And then, when you're in the shower, I'm gonna be, like, quiet, and there's gonna be a stillness, and then God gonna try to speak to me through there, or I'm gonna get something, whatever I need. So yeah, I see what you're doing, God. You're just trying to get me alone so I can, like, hear you. You're trying to, like, and then maybe the water, I need to be cleansed, because I'm just, like, being, like, overly well. Maybe that's the Mars and Cancer in me that wants to. I don't know, but then we have the Mars, which Mars rules Aries. Oh, this is like, okay. Anyways, okay. Okay, so this says, for the Devil card, it says, conscious bondage, dwelling in the grip of the material world, enthralled by the lure of the senses. When the devil card appears in a spread, it asks you to examine where in your life you have chosen bondage, where you are unhealthily attached or enslaved by your own lower natures. Consider the story of Persephone. Why did I say first? Persephone. I don't know who that is. What that is. I should feel like I don't know. Should I know? I don't. And her potential motives. Maybe it talked about it in here and I just didn't read it. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm skipping through because there's a long passage, but I'm going straight to like the little message. So, anyways, they talked about the story of Persephone. It said, consider the story of Persephone and her potential motives and submissions. As you ponder how this plays into your life, have you made a choice to be powerless in the face of your addictions? Have you chosen your bondage, or has it chosen you? Consider this carefully, for however sweet the temptation you may consider this carefully, for however sweet the temptation, you have nothing to gain by remaining powerless. Okay, see, the way he explained it is like not the way I get it, but I feel like other people may not get it. But it does say, oh, here we go. Here's the book. Okay, the key words: bondage. You're having a bondage to something. I feel like bondage is not good. You're there's a unhealthy tie to it. Materialism. We just talked about focusing on money, greed, temptation, addiction, and shadow self. So yes, it is that combined. The Chariot combined with the Devil card. Taking action, but don't be led by like temptations or greed. I got it. I got the message. Thank you, God. Thank you, guides, for bringing that, clarifying that for me and whoever else needs to hear it. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go take a shower really quick and then try to complete my task for today that I need to complete for my work, and then I have to get this video out. So it's gonna be unedited. So, anyways, okay. I'll hopefully be able to check in one last time at nighttime. Maybe. We'll see.